everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ-Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I don't give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Eskow.
Jeff
Doing bad time. Doing bad time. Got myself a problem.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's everybody up to today? Welcome to Sports World Radio and NFL Real Talk. We got a jam-packed show for you guys today. We're going to have lots and lots of fun. We're picking all the rest of the games that were going on for Sunday and Monday. We'll talk a little bit about the game from Thursday night before we start making our picks for Sunday and Monday. Just to let you guys know, you're listening to us on SportsWorldRadio.com. Follow us over there at Facebook at facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio, as well as twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. You want to get in touch with the show, 619-663-3715, 619-663-3715. Want to come and hang out in our chat room with us? We're over at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. If you don't have an account, it's free to get one, so sign up. Type in Sports World Radio, press the heart, press the bubble at the bottom of your screen, and you'll be in the chat room like all the other schmucks that are in there right now. Now, I'm not the only one here today. It is NFL Real Talk. We got a brigade of peeps on the line with us. We're going to be picking our games today. First, our co-host that's always with us, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing good, Jeff, and welcome everybody to week number 7 of NFL Real Talk. We'll be talking about, like Jeff said, Thursday night game and the NFL games. Weather right now is kind of cloudy and cool, but it's been nice. Supposed to be a nice day tomorrow in the 70s. How are you, Jeff?
I'm doing good. And also joining us, our good friend who comes in every Tuesday and Thursday on the show, our good friend Frank Sprankle.
We're friends?
Yeah, we've been friends for a long time. We've been friends for a long time.
I have friends with you guys. Now, does this mean I get to now go into higher places?
Of course.
Okay, so do I get VIP access at all the exclusive clubs now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're with me, buddy.
Oh,
Brenna.
does this...
Wherever I go, you go.
Okay, hold on. So does this mean I'm going to be limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun? Am I going to be like Ric Flair at long last?
Yeah.
You know, Ric
You'd be
Flair
styling
is for
and
some reason
profiling.
a 49ers fan.
You'd be styling and profiling.
NFL Real Talk, it is 9:07 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:07 p.m. on the West Coast. And for you people that are in the Central, you really need to figure
8:07.
Yeah, you got me there.
7.
First game we get to took place on Thursday night, Jeff and Frank, and I'm telling you, as a New England Patriots fan against the old employer, the Jets, a 2-point win for the Patriots, and it was not a very easy game for the Patriots. It should have been a blowout, but they just kept the Jets hanging. They were lucky to win that.
Do you have any fingernails left?
Some.
I mean, after that freaking game, come on, dude. I didn't watch a lot of it, but still, every time I turned the TV back to the game, the Jets were winning. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
I was mainly focused on Game 5 of the NLCS.
That's what I was watching.
I have to say, that's like finally the first time for NFL on Thursday night since they did this whole thing with NFL on CBS and NFL Network that a game has actually been that close. I did watch the whole game, and the Jets did play them tough. Brady had a good game for New England. He was 20 of 37, 261 yards, 3 touchdown passes, and no interceptions. Geno Smith played very well. He was impressive. He was 20 of 34, 226 yards, 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions. But Jeff and Frank, the key factor is if you're going to beat the Patriots, you got to figure out a way to put pressure on Tom Brady. Brady had all kinds of time in the pocket, stepped up and made some big throws.
I knew that the Patriots were going to win that game, Sean.
Well, they
at the
barely
end because
won.
because of Tom Brady. Enough said.
They barely won that game, and now with the Jets, I thought the Jets played pretty good, hanging in there with New England. Now the Jets get Percy Harvin, huh?
I don't know why they made that move. I don't know what it's going to prove to them because the Jets are not going to be a playoff team this year. They're 1-6. Frank, you've called it that the Jets will be most likely firing Rex Ryan after the year gets over with.
And it will be after the season, yes.
Yeah,
Woody Johnson has said it will be. I mean, there won't be. I'm not going to say, look, I'm not saying that, or at least Woody Johnson is not saying that he's going to fire Rex Ryan at the end of the season. He says that Rex Ryan's job is safe till the end of the season.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
till the
And
end
now
of the
that they
season,
have-
and then it ends a quick little era in New York where he took them to 2 straight AFC championship games, but Jets have not had a break all year. And you look at some of the games that the Jets have played, they've been in a lot of games this year. They've had chances to win them, but they just haven't made stops or they haven't gotten a break when it matters the most.
Well, now that they got Percy Harvin goes from a playoff team to a non-playoff team, how happy is he?
I don't think he's happy at
No, I
all.
don't
This
think
is
he
a
is
bad
either.
move by the Seattle Seahawks to trade him to a team that's not very good at the New York Jets.
Oh, I hate to tell you, Sean, they had to do. I hate to tell you, Sean, they had to do it.
Is this
Yeah,
like
they
going
had
from
to,
the
though.
penthouse to the odd house?
Yeah, you know why? He was.
I mean, you're going from Seattle, you're going from being on a Super Bowl winning team to a great stadium. And nothing against MetLife Stadium, it is a great stadium, but you're going you're
from a
to the New
playoff
York
team
Jets,
to a
in which
crap team.
people that have no interest in that team. I mean, yes, they do sell out their games, they have a strong fan base, but if you look at the NFL, the only talk surrounding the New York Jets is negativity.
I know. So he goes from a good team to a crappy team, and they had to get rid of him. He's been getting into fights with the other players on the Seattle
Josh,
team.
You hit it right there. Josh says that's the stupidest trade ever, and I will agree with you. Not a smart trade, but you are right, Jeff. They had to do it because there was debacles, there was conflicts and frustration. going with the Seattle Seahawks.
Percy Harvin gave Golden Tate a black eye before the Super Bowl. They got into a fight, and he gave him
I
a
heard
black
about
eye
that.
before the Super Bowl. He also got into a fight with Seahawks receiver Doug Baldwin before a preseason game. And
people
last
don't
Sunday,
talk
hold
about
on,
that.
Frank.
All
Hold on,
people
Frank.
talk
Frank,
about,
hold on.
heading
Frank,
into Super,
Frank.
heading into Super Bowl
Frank,
week.
hold on,
But-
Frank. Hold on a second. I'm not done. Hold on.
Well, okay, then go speak your mind.
He also on Sunday refused to go back in the fourth quarter in the Dallas game. So they had to get rid of him.
So it just got uglier and uglier as time went on for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, they had to get rid of him, Frank.
Look, I'm not saying MetLife Stadium's a beautiful.
It has nothing to
facility. It's
do
one of
with the
best in
freaking
NFL.
stadium.
But Frank,
If you're a home team, you want to play in CenturyLink Field because of the acoustics, the rowdiness.
Frank,
it
are you
feels
gonna
like
keep up-
nothing more than 50
Frank,
jumbo jets? when
Frank,
you're
are you
playing
going to
there.
keep a player on your team that's fighting with other players?
No, you got to ship them off.
So that's what he did. He got
Okay,
rid of freaking.
well,
they got rid of Percy Harvin.
Well, you
But,
know what? I
Frank-
know this is off topic, but why don't the Yankees next year? I think they should just release Alex Rodriguez because
Frank,
you know what? You
Frank,
got to get rid of the distraction. Yes,
Frank.
Sean, go ahead.
Frank, I was going to tell you, instead of baseball, I got to ask you, were you shocked or surprised to see Percy Harvin be traded to the Jets? Your feeling?
Yes, I was because I figured that they weren't happy with Percy Harvin, but they weren't going to quite get rid of him at that point.
Well, that was a shock to me until I read the article on reasons why they freaking got rid of him, and I don't blame them.
Yeah. So I mean, if we had known about the reasons, then it wouldn't be as shocking.
I mean, he also had an argument with Russell Wilson during the game on Sunday.
Now, looking at this trade for both these teams, how much of an impact, Jeff and Frank, will it hurt the Seahawks? Is it going to be a severe impact, or are they still going to be the team that we saw from last year, the Seahawks?
I think they'll be fine.
I think they'll be fine.
I'll tell you what. If somebody like a Russell Wilson goes down with injury, or you lose one of your key defensive players, if you lose Richard Sherman, well, more so Russell Wilson. If you lose Russell Wilson, then I'll tell you what, the alarm bells go off throughout Seattle. They'll be fine.
And as for the Jets, though,
I agree with Josh what he just says there. Neither Eric Decker or Percy Harvin would benefit playing with Geno Smith. I absolutely agree with that.
yeah, and how big of a thing is this for the Jets? Will this make them better in the long run, or do you think it's just going to get worse and worse after Rex Ryan gets fired and they keep him?
Well, who knows who's going to go be the next Jet quarterback? Who knows which way they're going to go? You don't.
Sure.
You have no idea which way they're going to go. Whether they're going to take somebody who's a defensive coordinator and from another team and bring him over, whether they choose that defensive coordinator, where they go after a coach that hasn't been coaching for a while. You don't know what the heck he's going to do.
Yeah, how do we not know? Maybe they'll go off for maybe like a Bill Cowher.
Or maybe they'll go after a college coach.
And I have a prediction about Rex Ryan.
Go ahead.
When he gets fired and gets let go of the Jets after this year, my prediction is Rex Ryan will join Rob Ryan, and then they'll find another team and they'll both work together because they're brothers. Or, yeah, that's why I look at it.
How do you say that when they have yet worked together so far?
Just because of the connection, remember we've done previous shows, Jeff, and we've talked about how Rex Ryan wouldn't mind probably having Rob Ryan on as a defensive coordinator, and he'd be the head coach of the Jets, but that's not going to happen because Rex is going to be gone after this year.
Well, I don't think a owner in the world would have both of them on their team.
Yeah, just a lot of frustration indeed for the Jets, and they did play well, but you saw how frustrated Rex was after the game. All of his press conferences too, Frank, you've seen it he said to it, it's just crazy. He goes, there's just no way to get a break. It just seems like, he goes, every time we've been in every game, the Jets just end up losing in heartbreak. It was week 2, they blew the 18-point lead to the Packers. Week 3 against the Chicago Bears. And they had a list of all of the quarterbacks that the Jets have had to face, these top quarterbacks.
Right. And the frustration's getting them. I mean, we saw Geno Smith with the obscene gesture a few weeks ago, and he was, of course, disciplined as a result of that. He was fined. You can tell the frustration is setting in. And maybe, have you ever thought that, I mean, if you look at Geno Smith and with the obscene gesture, that maybe, well, I think I shouldn't say maybe. It's obvious. Rex Ryan doesn't have control of this team anymore.
Nope. That's why he'll be gone for sure. All right, let's get out of this Thursday night game and get into some games we can make some picks on.
Yeah, let's switch from past tense to future tense.
Correct, guys. Nice choice of words there. The big wind.
Hey, I'm smart. I did well in public school.
You are kind of smart. So I got a point. A lot of people got a point for this game, right?
Everybody pretty much did get a point between the Patriots and the Jets.
How funny would it have been if the freaking Jets would have won? People would have been laughing their butts off, man.
Oh, yeah. I would have never heard the end of it.
What, Frank?
Before we go on, I got to ask you a question. What do we do? How do you pick a tie? Because we did have a tie score last
Nobody
week.
Gets a point. No points awarded.
And
shame on the NFL. Shame on the NFL for allowing ties.
Correct.
Shame is right. They should just play until somebody wins the game, just like they do in high school and college. It's a joke. First game.
Week number 7, huh? Week number 7, man. The season's flying by already. Week number 7. Here we go, Sean. Start us off, bud.
Okay, Jeff. Early games that we have for tomorrow. The first game we got, Jeff and Frank, it'll be the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. What's your guys' thoughts on the game, and who do you pick to win?
Frank, do you really care about this game at all?
Minnesota.
Yeah,
Buffalo.
I do because it's a divisional game. But you know what? The Minnesota Vikings, they are well out of it. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. They're at home.
If Minnesota wins, that'll be pretty funny. But I got to go with you, Frank. I think Buffalo's going to win. They're at home. They got their quarterback now, seems like. We'll see
Minnesota is having trouble.
Quarterback problems.
Spot.
Yes, quarterback troubles. I mean, they're flopping back and forth between Ponder and Teddy Bridgewater.
Well,
right?
Bridgewater's a guy that you have to let develop. Obviously, he was a late first-round draft pick of the Vikings. He has got to get his work in because, look, you can say about practices and conditioning, but the only way Teddy Bridgewater is going to get better is through actual game experience.
Correct.
And you know what? Teddy Bridgewater, maybe he'll have his time, but guess what? He's a slow project. I got to take Buffalo.
This year's his growing pains, so to speak, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm going with Buffalo too. Sean?
I had Minnesota in this one, but now I just changed it and said Buffalo because the Teddy Bridgewater is trying to learn so much to be the quarterback of the Vikings. They got so much trouble with the Bills.
And Josh says he's taking Buffalo too. Our producer Josh is taking Buffalo as well. All right, next game, buddy.
The second early game tomorrow will feature the Miami Dolphins with Ryan Tannehill taking on Chicago Bears.
I'll go first. The Bears.
I'll go second and second the emotion and saying, "Da Bears."
The Bears.
The Bears, too, because, look, everybody didn't know if they were going to bounce back last weekend. And, Frank, you had picked the Atlanta Falcons against
Yes,
the Bears.
I did.
Yeah, you did. But the Bears
I'm happy I was
proved,
wrong. I'm happy I was wrong.
The Bears proved that they could bounce back and still be very tough in the NFC North. Miami has kind of gotten off to, remember they got off to the great start. They won the opening game, the opener against New England to start the NFL season. But they've just kind of gone downhill, and Tannehill's not the same. That's why the Bears have the advantage in the game.
They're having trouble winning games. Evident last week against the Green Bay Packers. If you saw that game and the time that Aaron Rodgers had, I knew the Packers were going to win that game. The Miami Dolphins just, for the most part, don't have much in the tank. I'm going to take Chicago. I'm going to take the Bears at home tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
It's almost as though the Dolphins are kind of like the Jets. They lost a heartbreaker against the Packers last week. They lost a game against the Chiefs where they were in it, but then Kansas City just kind of blew them out. So the Dolphins haven't really had a lot of breaks, too. And you're right, Frank. They're finding ways to lose games. The Dolphins are.
Now, they certainly did that last week. The Dolphins, they're just not a good enough team. And maybe it's safe to say that is it safe to say that the AFC East is not the weakest division, but a weak division?
Yes, it's safe to say that.
Because the Patriots, they're getting up there in age. They could still win the division. Buffalo, they're making a little bit of noise. We know about the Jets, the Dolphins. They're not producing. I honestly think the AFC East, which has been too much dominated by the Patriots year in and year out over the last decade plus, pretty weak division.
Jeff, comment on the Dolphins. What's your thoughts about them?
I haven't seen them play too much, so I really can't comment, but they're the Dolphins. Come on. They got that they got the rainbow flag-ish logo on their freaking helmets now. I don't like that.
I hate their logo. They've had the
I
last
couldn't
couple
stand
of years.
the logo.
They need to go back to the flipper with the M helmet.
That logo they got on there now is rainbow flag-ish.
I'll be honest. The Dolphins, they have nice colors, but their uniform contrast kind of now sucks.
Go back to the days of Dan Marino. Have those Dan Marino Dolphin uniforms. There you go.
Hey, you know what? That would be a perfect trivia question. Can you name it? You don't have to do it in order. Name the Dolphins starting quarterbacks since Dan Marino retired after the 1999 season. Wouldn't that be a great trivia question?
They've had to go through a lot of quarterbacks, the Dolphins have. The next game we have, New Orleans Saints at the Detroit Lions. I'll go first. I'll take the Detroit Lions. They are playing good football, and I think they'll do well against New Orleans. Kenny, I see another loss for the Saints.
Ha. Saints are in lots of trouble. Ha, Kenny. You're in trouble because I'm taking Detroit, too.
I'm going New Orleans. I do believe
Wow.
New Orleans is going to go into Detroit and win that game. I
At
think
Henry
that
Field
we saw
Stadium?
early on, I think Drew Brees and his leadership, that's going to pave the way for New Orleans is starting to make a run. It was a struggle in the early going, but I think New Orleans is going to win this game.
And in Henry Ford Field, the Saints have lost some heartbreaking games this year too, Frank.
Yeah,
And you're
Buffalo.
the first-
Buffalo a couple weeks ago.
Mhm. Yeah, but I think they're better now than when they lost to Buffalo a couple of weeks ago.
I'm taking New Orleans. I think that New Orleans is getting out of their struggles. That's going to be a great game to watch. Can't wait to see it tomorrow on television, of course. But I'm taking New Orleans.
What are your guys' thoughts, though, about Matthew Stafford? Has he gotten it together for the Detroit Lions?
I think
He's working on it still. Plus, they got a new head coach, so everything's really new to them still, Sean.
I think
Yeah.
the pieces are starting to be put into place. As far as I'll say this, as long as you have Matthew Stafford and Megatron, Kelvin Johnson,
Well, he's
that's
out.
That's a pretty good combo right there. I'm not
Yeah,
going to say. Look, I'm not going to say it's Montana / Yun to Rice, but having Stafford to Kelvin Johnson, that's pretty solid right there.
Hey, you
What do
know
you
what? Josh says Saints upset coming off a bye week. They need it. So he's picking the Saints, obviously, in that game, too.
And maybe
And
that
who's-
fight we can do good for the Saints.
And what are your guys' thoughts about the new head coach of the Detroit Lions? I haven't heard very much about him.
Well, Jim Caldwell, of course, took over for Tony Dungy.
That's right.
In Detroit. I mean, in Indianapolis. Pardon me.
There's growing pains over there, like there is with like there is with
Minnesota.
Minnesota, exactly right.
I think
Exactly
Detroit
right.
is further along in the process in terms of being a serious contender.
Well, they got a quarterback.
And
They got a quarterback. Minnesota doesn't.
And you got to remember this, too, about the Lions. That's going to be the biggest question. Can the Detroit Lions stay in this thing and compete? Because we all know what happened last year. They were at 1.7-5, and then they finished up the season at 9-7. Schwartz got fired because they didn't finish up strong. And a lot of people, I remember the Thanksgiving Day game when they won that game last year. Everybody was saying the Lions should be farther ahead in the NFC North, but that didn't happen, and the Packers were able to – actually, yeah, the Packers were able to beat the Bears, and the Lions finished up poorly. Actually, it was like – I think it was 7-9 they ended their season, so that was a big reason why they folded and gave up.
Guys, I know a couple of years ago you did have – and by the way, these two teams did play in a wild card game in New Orleans, but help me out here. Have the Lions hosted a playoff game at Ford Field? I don't think they have.
No, I don't think they have either.
No, they haven't.
I don't think they. Memory serves me correctly. There's not been a playoff game at Ford Field, and the Lions have only been in one playoff game, and that was against New Orleans a couple years ago.
And who was their head coach then?
Jim Schwartz. Yeah, Jim Schwartz.
Did they go into the playoffs when whatchamacallit was their head coach?
Oh, by the way, wait. Who is this? Wait, who?
Not
what
Schwartz. Bobby. What the heck?
Bobby Ross.
Petrino.
Bobby Ross.
Bobby Ross.
Yeah,
They did. Bobby Ross,
they did
of course,
in the
was
90s.
Okay.
Yeah, Bobby Ross
Right.
was the head coach, and they had Barry Sanders.
Correct.
Of course, the Lions haven't been big since
Right.
Barry
All right. Let's
Sanders
get to our
days.
next game, Sean. We're running out of time here.
Sure. Carolina Panthers traveling tomorrow to take on the Green Bay Packers. Jeff and Frank, what's your guys' thoughts on this game?
You know
Two
what?
words, Packer smacker.
Okay. You know what really upsets me is that this game is on TV here in San Diego. Why?
Wait, is that on the
Why,
Fox
oh,
affiliate?
why,
Where you?
oh, why?
Wait, let me
Yes.
ask you: do you get the Bears-Dolphins game on your CBS affiliate?
No, I only have one morning game, and it's the
Dude,
Packers and
go,
Panthers.
Just go to a website and you can stream it for free.
Yeah, one morning game. It's the Packers and the Panthers. How about that? That stinks.
Wait a minute. You know what stinks? Hold on. Doesn't next week? I don't want to get ahead of myself for next week, but the Jaguars and the Cowboys
I know.
next Sunday,
I
don't
know.
they play
I
an
know.
early game in London?
Yeah, I know all about it. And we're on it.
Yeah.
I think it's on TV too, probably.
I hope it's on
I have
national
to-
TV.
If you look at this game and you look at the way the Packers have played the last few weeks, I think something happened to the Packers where when Aaron Rodgers said, just relax, and you've seen what they've done. They go into Chicago and they won that game, Frank, as you well know, 38-17. The Packers, everybody's wondering, are they for real? Can they keep this up? I'm going to go with Green Bay, but it's a question with Mike McCarthy and the Packers. Can they?
By the
keep
way,
this-
my apologies. That's actually November 9th. They play in London. But listen, the only way this Packer team is going to suffer a downfall is if you lose Aaron Rodgers. Now, the Packers did lose Aaron Rodgers last year. Maybe it was a little bit of a struggle for them. Again, at least on the Monday night game against the Chicago Bears, they took him out. But you need Aaron Rodgers. With Aaron Rodgers, that's where the magic happens.
What do you think of the Packers so far, Jeff? Are they
I'm
are
taking
they
the
a
Packers.
serious contender in the NFC?
Well, as long as Aaron Rodgers is there, yeah, I'm taking the Packers in this game. I think the Packers defense is going to be all over Cam Newton tomorrow. I really do.
I think it's going to be a rout in Green Bay.
Yeah, I really do.
Another game that will be interesting. You got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Indianapolis Colts. This was a tough decision for me, but I do like the Colts in this game. I think it's going to be a close game against Andy Dalton and the Bengals. And I know Cincinnati is fed up because they should have won that game against Carolina last weekend.
You know
Josh
what?
is-
This
Josh
is
is going
absolutely.
though.
Josh is
I'm
going
looking
with
at
the Packers
percentage
as well.
here. 86% favored the we're talking about the Packers, Panthers. 86% favored the Colts. 14% favored the Bengals.
Right.
I'm gonna be like Sean. You know what, Sean? You read my mind. That's scary, by the way. This is tough. I don't know who to pick. I'm gonna take the Indianapolis Colts based on the fact that it seems everything is clicking for them.
I think tomorrow, Frank and Jeff, I think tomorrow's game with the Colts hosting the Bengals, I'm going to pick the Colts, like I said, but I think it's going to be a close game tomorrow.
Okay, I'll pick the Colts too. But if the Bengals win this game, it will not surprise me.
For me, Okay, this is a tough game for me to pick because you know Sean's been with me a long time, and he knows I am a huge Andy Dalton fan. Huge Andy Dalton fan.
And he's not, and I'll be honest, Andy Dalton, Jeff, is not a household name
Correct.
among NFL fans.
Correct, because I've been bitching and moaning about that Andy Dalton is a better quarterback than Tony Romo. Okay? So this is a tough decision. And Andy Dalton's been struggling.
You know what's sad, though, about Andy? You mentioned Andy Dalton, Tony Romo. You know what's kind of sad? Tony Romo, look at the publicity this guy gets. What publicity does Andy Dalton get?
Nothing. Because
he doesn't get any.
That's because he's in Cincinnati. Okay.
Right.
Okay, let me make my pick so we can get to the next game. Oh, man. You know what? Everybody else is going with Indy, and I don't want to pick Cincy and lose a point, so I'm sticking with the boys. I'm going with Indy on this one. That's how I'm picking it.
The publicity that Andy Dalton gets is the postseason. Okay, he does a great job with the season, but everybody says, well, why can't Andy Dalton win that playoff game so the Bengals can be happy and get the monkey off their back because they haven't won a playoff game since January of 1991.
So far up to the Indianapolis game, all my picks have been on the left side of the board.
Jeff, we must be reading each other's minds.
Got
it's
a
the same way
problem
with
here.
me, except one.
Problem.
The next early game that we have, how about this one, Jeff and Frank? The Seattle Seahawks at the St. Louis Rams. I'm going with the Seahawks. You know they're frustrated after losing at home against Dallas, and now they don't have to deal with Percy Harvin because he's with the Jets.
I'm going with Seattle.
I think I'll be.
Yeah,
you're going Seattle too. Okay, blowout. Seattle.
Yeah, it's blowout.
I don't really think there's much to talk about in
there's
terms
not.
of this game.
There's not. Do you know every freaking team on the left-hand side I've picked so far, all the way up to Seattle? Every team so far. This is a bad pattern. I don't like this.
Seattle, though, knows perfectly well that, you got to put last weekend behind because Pete Carroll was stunned that they lost at home. And if you're the Rams, too, Frank, I didn't even watch the game last Monday night, but they got off to a good start against San Francisco. And I know that they want to try to do another thing and beat another good football team. They almost had it with San Francisco, but made some mistakes.
The St. Louis Rams right now, this is a team that you just got to question their future because their future really doesn't look good. Obviously, Sam Bradford, I believe we've seen the last of Sam Bradford as starting quarterback of the St. Louis Rams.
Yep.
In fact, it won't surprise me that if they look toward, they're going to get I think they're going to get a high draft pick.
No,
okay, let me ask you this. Do they look at taking a quarterback in the draft
Bet
next
your
year?
sweet ass they do.
And here's another question. Is Jeff Fisher on the hot seat for the Rams?
No.
Not this year.
No, he's got too many
All right,
injuries
2 more
going
years.
on.
I'll give him, what's his contract?
No, they're going to let him fulfill his contract. You know they're going to. Because he'll get it turned around once he gets the right. He's playing a third-string quarterback, for Christ's sakes, right now.
Yeah, here's the thing. You need to get in new people. Try to get in the new people and see what Fisher can do. And if it doesn't work out, then you make a coaching change. If they make a coaching change, it ain't going to be for a while.
The next game we get to, Tennessee Titans at the Washington Redskins. In the pick distribution, the Redskins 80% favored to win this game, 20% for Tennessee. I disagree with that prediction, and I'm going to say the Tennessee Titans will go into Washington tomorrow and beat the Redskins.
I'm going to go with you, Sean. Of course, ever since RG3 went down, I'll be honest, I was a believer in Kirk Cousins because we have seen over the last couple of years, since Kirk Cousins was drafted by the Redskins coming out of Michigan State, he was actually pretty good when coming in the relief of RG3. Remember the game a couple years ago against the Baltimore Ravens at home? Played pretty well. We've seen him in a few preseason games, mobile in the pocket. But Kirk Cousins has convinced me that he just hasn't been able to get the job done. And understand this. This is important for Cousins' career because maybe the Redskins have their faith in Robert Griffin III, but for Cousins, he is pretty much auditioning for other NFL teams that could use his service in the years to come. He hasn't proved that. I got to take Tennessee.
Jeff, your thoughts on the Tennessee Titan Washington Redskin game?
Well, Josh is picking the Redskins because of Gary Warner.
Oh, and by the way, we're going to say Redskins on this show.
Oh, yes, we are. Yes, we are. You know something? He's got to be getting better. This is a tough game because Tennessee really stinks.
It was a tough decision for me all week to think about for this one, too,
Okay,
Jeff.
I'm taking Washington.
Ooh.
I'm going to take Washington.
Yeah, the Redskins, we'll see how well they look. If they lose, they go to
It's a tough
1-6,
game, man.
and then Jay Gruden's got a problem there with the way the whole thing's
No,
going. with
I
the
don't think it's
Redskins.
his fault either. I
Well,
don't
he's
think
only a
his fault.
first-year head coach.
Correct.
Yeah, it's
and
only his
he's-
first year.
And he's still got a lot of the players from Shanahan's era. So
And also with Alfred Morris, they're not getting much of a running game too.
correct.
Well,
All
the
right.
biggest question is, do you blame the owner and you blame Daniel Snyder for that, since he's been the owner of the Redskins since 1999?
He doesn't know what he's doing.
The Redskins, hold on, they have not been to the playoffs since 1999.
They've
Doesn't know what
been,
he's doing.
let's see, 99, yeah, but they've made some other playoff appearances. In 05 they did. They played the Buccaneers. They won that one 17-10, even though that was a sloppy game.
Oh, right, forgot about that one. They had the wild card game.
And then they played a couple against Seattle. Next game that we have, you've got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is tomorrow the day the Jaguars get their first win? I don't think so. I'm taking the Browns.
Frank,
I'm taking the Browns too.
I'm
They've
taking-
been clicking on all cylinders.
I'm taking the Browns.
The question is, with the Browns and the way they've been playing, though, Jeff and Frank, can they stay with it? Can they compete in the AFC North with Cincinnati and Baltimore? I think Pittsburgh's beginning to fade in that AFC North division.
I don't know, but
It is shocking, buddy, to see Cleveland in this AFC North. They would always be at the bottom, and I was even predicting that the Browns wouldn't be right in there, but right now they're with Cincinnati and Baltimore. Frank, what do you think of the way the Browns are playing? Can they keep this up?
Oh, absolutely they can keep this up. It seems that they are enjoying it. Brian Hoyer has a smile on his face, and as far as Hoyer's concerned, he can thank Johnny Manziel he can actually thank the Cleveland Browns for drafting Johnny Manziel
Yes.
because it has put pressure on Hoyer, and Hoyer has risen up to the challenge. So you know what? As far as Hoyer's concerned, thank the Browns, thank Manziel for your performance.
Josh is taking the Jags.
I saw that.
Are you freaking kidding me, Josh?
The Jaguars, Josh,
Watch the Jags get their first win.
against the Browns.
Against
and then
the
Josh
Browns,
comes
yeah.
on Monday and just sticks it in our faces. Told you so.
Wow. He's taking the freaking Jacksonville Jaggies. Wow. That's pretty funny.
A team that I mentioned that Cleveland is staying with, that'll be the Baltimore Ravens. They're hosting the Atlanta Falcons tomorrow. Frank,
Hey,
what's your thoughts on this game?
The Atlanta Falcons. Well, you know what? I thought the Atlanta Falcons were just going to steamroll over the Chicago Bears just a week ago. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens in this one.
Me too. Sorry, Adrian. I have to pick your team this week. I so feel sorry, but yeah.
But that doesn't mean, hold on, but Jeff, that doesn't mean they're going to the Super Bowl. They're not going to the Super Bowl.
Well, no, they have to win the Super Bowl. I don't care if they go.
They're
They
not
have
even
to
going
win.
to be. They're not going to be in the Super Bowl.
You know what I'm hoping for? They're out of the playoffs by Christmas time, so he has to shave his head for Christmas.
We all get a Christmas present.
That's right. So yeah, I'm going with Baltimore. Are you, Shawnee?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens against the Atlanta Falcons.
I think Atlanta's
think-
got problems. I
I
think
think it'll be a close one. That's why it was tough.
and
I
I happen
think-
to think who's the coach of Atlanta again?
Like Smith, and I think he's on the hot seat.
Correct. I do think he's on the hot seat. 100%.
I think if there's no playoff appearance on the
gone.
part of the Falcons at seasons, then
He's-
who I guess we'll be asking who will be the Falcons coach in 2015.
Rex Ryan.
You think Rex would go to Atlanta, huh?
I'm just yelling out a name. I don't know.
Yeah, the Ravens do, and that's
You know
really
what? You
like-
know what? The owner of the Atlanta Falcons is just crazy enough to hire both Ryans.
Arthur Blank. That's his
He's
name.
crazy
the owner of the
enough to
Falcons.
hire both of them. If they both get fired this year, that team I would not be shocked doing it. How about that? How about
What would
that?
you think, Frank? Both Ryans go to the Atlanta Falcons for 2015 of next year.
Okay, but the question is, wait, Rex Ryan would be the head coach,
Yes.
and Rob Ryan would be his defensive coordinator.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep.
Correct.
I don't see Rex Ryan getting a head coaching job, at least not next year. I think maybe in the years to come, but
Okay,
I don't
so
see
then
it being next year.
okay, so then his brother's the head coach and he's the defensive coordinator.
Rob
Hey,
Ryan.
there you go. There you go. And hey, let's understand this. He would be in the same division as the Saints.
Yeah, so maybe there you go.
That
he
would work
gets
out perfectly.
he gets that. Yeah, the younger brother gets that head coach and Rex is his DC. Yeah, I like to see that.
Yeah, too bad Buddy is old because obviously Buddy is retired from the coaching ranks. But wouldn't it be cool to have had Buddy as the head coach and have his sons as assistants?
I'm sure they were around when he was coaching Philadelphia Eagles, man.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, they were on the sideline for Super Bowl 20.
Yeah, I'm sure they were around watching.
They were in college at the time when Buddy Ryan, as defensive coordinator, right before he went to Philadelphia, won Super Bowl 20 under Mike Dick as defensive coordinator.
There you go. See?
The 85 Bears.
Next game.
The late games that we have for tomorrow, it will be the Kansas City Chiefs at the San Diego Chargers. What do you think, Frank, between the Chargers hosting the Chiefs tomorrow?
You know what? I think the Chargers are going to start to get a lot of talk considering they have been winning as of late. I did see I did flip between the NLCS on Thursday night and Thursday Night Football between the Patriots and the Jets. And I'm going to say this. I saw the Phillip Rivers interview at halftime, and this guy is very confident. And that's what this Charger team needs. San Diego tomorrow.
I will go with the San Diego Chargers, too. And it's important that they win this game because they know very well they want to win this game with a lot of confidence going into Denver for that Thursday night game.
That's right, it's short week.
October 23rd. And I know, Jeff, where you're at in San Diego, they must be going crazy for that. They're probably saying Chargers need to win tomorrow, and then the Chargers need to be ready to play against Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos.
That game is sold out for tomorrow.
Yep.
That's a division
I can imagine
game.
That game would have sold out well in advance.
Yeah, that's a division rival game, so that game means a lot.
And they're winning.
And they're winning. And what are they, 6-1 right now? Chargers?
The Chargers are 5-1.
5-1.
5-1. 5-1. That's right. 5-1 because we're in week 7. 5-1. Right. So you know what? They need to win this game going into Denver next week and win that freaking game too, and then the Chargers will be in first place.
And one thing you've noticed real quickly about Phillip Rivers, Frank, and Jeff, is that you haven't seen him throw a lot of interceptions. He's made smart decisions in the pocket, and he's been able to hit his receivers that are wide open.
Well, you know who the offensive coordinator is, right?
Yeah.
You know who the offensive coordinator is, right, Sean?
No.
It's freaking, what the heck's his name? Frank Reich.
Frank Reich, of course, yes, who had his 15 minutes of fame in Buffalo.
Correct. That's who the offensive coordinator is for the San Diego Chargers.
And what's your thoughts, though, too, Frank, on even more on Phillip Rivers, too, Frank? Are you starting to see that he's a different quarterback and you're not seeing him throw interceptions?
Well, he's not throwing the interceptions, but the question is, he is an older quarterback now. Let's understand this. He was drafted a decade ago, and he has taken the Chargers to the playoffs. This is really a question for you, Jeff. You're in San Diego. What is the patience here with Phillip Rivers? Because it seems that the Chargers, a few years back, they came close to going to Super Bowl 42.
Yeah.
Remember, it was the Patriots that defeated them, and that was the undefeated season until the Super Bowl. They came close to winning that game.
He's got at least 3-4 more years left. He's been in the league as long as Tony Romo, right?
I think so. Josh would
pretty
have to
much.
check.
Right?
Yeah.
He's been in the league
right,
as long as
they're about
Tony
the
Romo.
same age.
Yeah, he's been in the league as long as Tony Romo, if I can remember correctly. And Phillip Rivers has got more freaking playoff wins than Tony Romo.
That's something
right.
that many people don't realize.
I know it. And when Skippy takes me and puts me on his show, and he talks about freaking Tony Homo this and Tony Homo that, I'm going to turn around to him and says, hey, Tony Romo ain't so freaking good because Phillip Rivers has been in the league just as long as him, and Phillip Rivers has got more playoff wins than he does. So don't give me Tony Romo this.
I got a perfect idea, Jeff. I got a perfect idea. When you take on Bayless, why doesn't Skip Bayless have Tony Romo in his corner, and you have Phillip Rivers in your corner?
Bring it on, bitch.
The game on Fox tomorrow, the NFC East rivalry game between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. This game is in Dallas tomorrow. As you all know, and everybody remembers, last year Dallas swept the Giants, making Jerry Jones a happy man that he finally swept the season series. But this year it's a new result. The question is, can the 5-1 Cowboys overtake and beat the Giants again for a third straight time?
I think they can, and I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys because of mainly DeMarco Murray. They're getting great protection from their offensive line these days. And Tony Romo, he's doing all right, but it is more than just Tony Romo that's making this happen here in Dallas.
Their defense is finally playing football.
Their defense is playing well. I got to take the Cowboys.
And here's the biggest question, too. I wonder what kind of a fan base we'll be expecting to see tomorrow afternoon in Dallas. Will there be a lot more Giant fans, or will we start seeing maybe a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans? Because I have observed that there's been more from the opposition.
There'll probably be a lot more Giant fans than there will be Cowboy fans tomorrow.
I don't know. There'll be a great deal. There'll be a great deal of Giant fans, but I'll say this: AT&T Stadium is not really a good. It's a beautiful stadium, but it's not a good home field advantage for a team here.
Not the Dallas team. It's not.
Well, yeah, because you know what? It's just the Palace.
Correct.
I mean, it's beautiful, state of the art. But the problem is, the Cowboy fans, some of them don't care to even go.
Frank, you asked me last week about do I always pick the Giants to win every week?
And you can if you want, but go ahead.
I do. I pick them every freaking week, and
that's fine. Go ahead.
I'm taking the Giants this week.
All right.
This was a tough one, but I went with the Dallas Cowboys in this game. I thought after the fact that they beat Seattle last weekend, it was a bit of confidence for them. And the question for the Giants is, can they recover after last Sunday night's shutout in Philadelphia, which was an ugly game for the Giants?
Yeah, I know. Well, let's hope they can recover and play a really good game in freaking Dallas and take Tony Romo and take him out.
Arizona Cardinals. This is a game I really don't care about. I'm going to pick the Cardinals at the Oakland Raiders.
Can you believe I don't get to watch that Dallas-New York game? It's not on freaking TV. They put the freaking Panthers-Packer game on in the morning on Fox. No morning game on CBS. They got the Charger-Chiefs game in the afternoon on CBS, and no other afternoon game. Fox has got some House of Sand and Frog on. Who gives a flying fig Newton? Put the Dallas Cowboy freaking Giant game on.
Okay, do you know what my opinion? Listen, I can tell you my opinion. Do you know how you have the two networks and one airs a doubleheader and one airs a single game?
Yeah.
You know what I think should happen? I think that both networks should air doubleheaders at the same time. They do that for the final week of the season, but I think for all 17 weeks, they should have doubleheaders on both networks.
I do too.
What's your gentlemen? What's your guys' thoughts about the Arizona-Oakland game? I picked the Cardinals, even though I really don't care about this game between the Cardinals and the Raiders.
Wasn't that close last week for the Raiders against the Chargers?
I watched that.
I mean, I know
Jeff
they lost the
going
game.
first.
I'm going with the Raiders in this one.
What? Why are you going with the Raiders against the Cardinals, Frank? What the heck?
I'm taking this as my upset special.
And Josh goes, I got another upset, the Raiders.
He's taking the Raiders too.
Okay, so you know you got the pair of Chicago boys taking the Raiders in the upset special.
I don't know. I'm taking the Cardinals. I like them, and I know the Raiders played the Chargers well, but you know what? They're the same old Raiders that haven't been the same since losing the Super Bowl in February of 2003.
I'm taking the Cardinals.
Hey.
Cardinals got the Cardinals
Sunday
have a
night.
quarterback. The Cardinals have a real quarterback. Okay.
They do, and Cardinals are impressive, Frank. They really are.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but they got a quarterback.
I would say, yeah, they.
Well, they
say
have
that.
won some big games when it mattered, and they've been able to compete and be able to stay with Seattle and San Francisco.
Yeah, but they lost to Denver.
Yep.
Question is, and you know what? Carson Palmer is having a pretty good year, but he's not typically what you would say a quarterback that has been known to play in the big games.
Correct. And this is a good game for a test like that because they need to win this game. If they win a game that they're supposed to win, that's good for your team and your freaking mindset and everything like that.
Is this game even sold out in the Bay Area?
I doubt it. If they lose, that's gonna hurt them. I think,
Yeah, because I'm thinking, is this game going to be televised, or will there be a blackout in the Bay Area?
I don't have it in my TV. I don't have the only afternoon game I have is the Charger game.
And here's a classic matchup for Sunday Night Football on NBC. It'll be San Francisco 49ers at the Denver Broncos. I'll take the Broncos in this one, but I am expecting to see a high-scoring game tomorrow. The 49ers are not going to get blown out like Denver has done to other teams.
I'm taking the Broncos in this one. Remember, there is history here for Peyton Manning potentially. 2 touchdowns. He ties Brett Favre's all-time record. 3, he has it himself. I think it's going to be high-scoring. favoring the Broncos tomorrow. And by the way, get ready to be Omaha'd a lot tomorrow night.
Hey, Josh says, I'm taking the Raiders and Jags will win, and I'll trump Sean and Mr. Clean Boy. So Sean's Josh
wait, Sean and
Josh
who's Mr. Clean?
Josh is taking the Raiders and the Jags.
Yeah, but who's Mr. Clean?
Me, I guess. Oh, Adrian.
Jeff, your thoughts on the 49ers-Broncos game tomorrow night on NBC?
I'm taking the Denver Broncos. Although
And
I like to see the 49ers win because that'll help out the Chargers, but I'm taking Broncos, especially in Denver.
I expect it to be a real close game tomorrow night. Even
The
though
record's going to fall tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
And Monday Night Football on ESPN, it will be Houston Texans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll go with the Steelers, but I'm telling you, Wes, if you're listening out there, your Steelers still do not look very good. I'm sorry. They've got so much trouble with Roethlisberger, and their defense isn't the best.
Can I start off with going
Go.
dun 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 dun?
Uh-oh, you're taking Houston, aren't you?
I'm taking the Texans tomorrow. The Steelers, they are getting.
Whoa! The Texans.
I'm taking the Texans. Yep, the Steelers, they are starting to age.
Well, do you think that's it for
I think their time. I think what?
Do you think Roethlisberger should be released or traded and the Steelers go get another quarterback in the NFL draft next year?
I don't think that's the case at this point. But what have the Steelers done over the last few years? Since going back to since going to Super Bowl 45.
Is Tomlin's job on the line?
I'm
Not
going to
this
say
year.
Well, I don't know. I'd say Mike Tomlin's job is on the line. I know Steeler fans are pretty frustrated with them being in last place. If he doesn't get it done, I see him gone after this year.
Josh is taking this the Houston Texans in this game. He says J.J. Watts will destroy the Steelers.
And Jeff, what's your thoughts about Tomlin? Do you think he gets fired after this year for the Steelers?
I don't know. I don't know.
I say to give him one more season.
That probably will give him one more season. And Wes, I guess I'm gonna have to go with Pittsburgh on this one because I don't think the Houston's quarterback is worth a hill of beans. I really don't. Who's that? Fitzpatrick? I don't think he's worth. Is that who's the Houston quarterback?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't think he's worth a hill of freaking beans, man. He couldn't cut it in Buffalo. One of the worst teams in the league right now. Definitely can't cut it in Houston. They'll be getting a different quarterback for next year. I got to take Pittsburgh in this game.
And then Frank, you talk about the age for Pittsburgh starting to catch up with them. What else is
Especially
catching
on
up?
defense.
Yeah, you're saying the defense is why?
Defense. And here's the thing. Well, understand this about defense. I mean, you take a look at defensive linemen, linebackers, and even those in the secondary. By the time you get into your mid-30s, you are old for that position.
Correct.
Because of the physicality of the game.
Correct.
You lose your speed. Okay, let me say this about Ray Lewis, the great Ray Lewis. Do you know why Ray Lewis was able to play 17 years in the league? Do you know what he said? Okay, maybe I lost my physical skills as I got older, but I was able to adapt mentally, such as through my experience of playing, I was able to pick up things such as knowing where the ball carrier's going, knowing various coverages. When you get older, you have to depend more on your mind than your body because your body cannot function at 33 as opposed to 23 when you entered into the NFL as, let's say, a draft pick or a free agent.
Right.
Yeah. So I think you're right that the defense needs to be improved. And if the Steelers need to look at a new quarterback, that is a possibility after the year gets over with.
Yeah, I just think football, as you get older, becomes more mental than physical because physically, you lose your abilities.
How about this? Suppose this happens. Mike Tomlin gets fired from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rex Ryan gets fired from the Jets. Rex Ryan goes to Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin goes to the Jets. Could that be possible?
No.
It could be possible in fantasy land.
Yeah, only in your brain, Sean.
Yeah, in fantasy land. And you know what? It's like in imagination land. Did you ever see that episode of South Park?
You know what? That's fantasy football for you right there.
It's possible. Anything is. Rex could get fired, And then Rooney family comes out and say, "Hey Rex, we'll offer you this contract. Come coach the terrible Towels in Pittsburgh and turn the Steelers around."
No. The only person I see doing that is probably Atlanta Falcons coach, and they take both brothers. The owner.
And then Tomlin goes to the Jets. Wouldn't that? Oh,
No,
wow.
No. All right, let's get to our predict the score of the games. Houston and Pittsburgh, Sean.
I'm going to say the Steelers are going to beat the Texans 20-10 on Monday night.
Okay, I was pretty close. Opposite result. The Texans over the Steelers 21-12.
I got Pittsburgh over Texas 17-10.
Hey, we were pretty close for that first tiebreaker.
Next game, Sean. San Francisco at Denver.
Like I said, it's going to be a close game, and I say the Broncos are going to win it on a game-winning field goal, 34-31.
I say it's not going to be close. 42-21, the Broncos over the 49ers.
Oh, so you're calling blowout, Frank. Whoa.
Yes, I am.
I got it.
And you know what? We're going to have the record tied and broken. And you know what?
Gross.
We're never going to want to visit Omaha or eat Omaha steaks ever.
I got 27-17 Denver.
Yeah, Jeff's is pretty close, but Frank's calling for a blowout. Tiebreaker number 2, who will score the most points this week?
I got Seattle.
It's gonna be my victors of the Sunday night game, the Broncos.
I had New England, but didn't happen that much after it was 27-25.
Okay, and who's going to score the fewest points, Sean?
Jacksonville.
Minnesota.
And I got St. Louis.
Good choice.
Oh, we're going opposite. That's good.
Yeah. Everybody's different. I like that. Save your picks. Bada bing, bada boom. Week 7 picks are made right here on NFL Real Talk. There you go, everybody. How about that?
Josh goes, the highest that he picks is the Bears, the lowest the Vikings.
Wow. So it's going to be interesting Sunday. I want everybody to enjoy all their Sunday games tomorrow and enjoy the Monday night game. We'll be back Monday for Sports World Radio's 2-hour journey of sports fun right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. For Sean Mann, Frank Sprankle, I'm Jeff Eskow. This has been Sports World Radio with NFL Real Talk. Peace out, bitches.
See you and goodbye.
Hey, boy, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over. See you next time.
Next time? When's that?
Pretty soon. Don't worry.
Pretty soon? How long is that?